Hey guys, please let me know if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Let me check from my end. Can you guys hear me? Oh, great, you can hear me. I wanted you guys to check for me in the comment section there if you can hear me, because these days, you guys, your girl is trying to make use of her microphone, and sometimes it decides to disappoint. But yes. So, hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, welcome to Travel with Eva Mtali, where we discuss relocation tips, global opportunities, and how you can make your dreams a reality. So if you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Eva Mtali. How we roll here on the channel. As you come on, do let me know where are you watching me from. Say hello in the comment section below. And do give the video a thumbs up because it's free. It helps to motivate me. And it shows the YouTube algorithm that there is exciting stuff happening right here on the channel. And as usual, guys, please let me know if you can hear me well. Today, we are going to be talking about a very interesting and important story that I came across about 2 weeks ago. I have been wanting to talk about it here on the channel, but I just realized time keeps going. So today I decided before I do anything, let me talk about it quick, and then get on to my weekend. So it's about a popular Kenya YouTube couple who recently revealed that they have won the green card lottery and they are planning to relocate to the US. Guys, please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. So as some of you may know, there is a popular YouTube couple in Kenya. They are called Kioko. So Nicholas and his wife, along with their 2 toddlers, are excited about this new chapter. But what's more interesting is the reaction in their comment section. People are telling them not to go to the US because life is apparently too hard in the US. So they're hearing everything from daycare is expensive, to you'll start from scratch, to your family will break up, to taxes are high, to life is difficult, and so much more. But hold on a second. Let's analyze the situation. So first of all, let's acknowledge one key thing that I noticed, because I was actually going through the comments and I was clicking on people's profiles and just checking out their profiles. And I noticed one thing. Most of the people that are discouraging them, actually like 90% of the comment section was do not go, do not go, do not come, do not go, do not come. And I noticed that a lot of the people that were commenting in the video have either haven't ever been to the US, leave alone even left their own country, who majority are Kenyan. They have never even left Kenya. And the other lot of people who are discouraging them are currently abroad. They're all saying, oh, I'm in the US, or I'm in Australia, I'm in the UK. Like they're currently abroad, but haven't returned to Kenya themselves. So if it is so bad as they are making it sound for those who are already in the US, why haven't they come back? This is the first big takeaway I want us to discuss. People often give advice based on their own limited perspective and not based on your specific situation or what is possible for you as an individual. So that's something that I want us to focus on. And like, if you are planning to relocate, which is why you're on this channel anyway, this channel is mostly about relocation. It's mostly about finding opportunities outside of your comfort zone, opportunities outside of your own country. And we actually have a slogan right here on the channel that patriotism doesn't pay the bills, okay? We're gonna be praying for our countries from outside. So don't even get us started at, oh, let's build care. We're going to be building from outside with diaspora remittances, guys. Okay. So that's one thing I wanted us to talk about. Like, people will always come and try to decide for you, make decisions for you based on their own limited perspective. And then something else that I want us to mention is, guys, please let me know in the comment section if you can hear me. I can see there's 6 of you here watching me. No thumbs up, no comments. Guys, really? Why are you even staring at me? Hi, Michael. Can you hear me? Please let me know if you can hear me. Guys, please let me know if you can hear me in the comment section. We are trialing this microphone and sometimes it misbehaves. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. It's free. Like, I'm not going to charge you for thumbs up in the video. And let me know, where are you guys watching me from? Anyway, so I was talking about, oh, you can hear me. Thank you so much, Michael. So I was talking about Nicholas Kioko, a popular Kenya YouTube. Oh, Kwemo, you're in Baraton. Baraton is my, I'm an alumni of the University of Eastern Africa, Baraton, back in the day before any of you was born. Anywho, so Nicholas Kioko, I talked about them, Kenya YouTubers. It's a YouTube couple. I'm not sure, I don't watch them much, but I was just checking them out before as I was preparing for this video. And they have 535,000 followers. Like, they are 5 times as big as this YouTube channel you're on right now. And so, as I've said, what really caught my attention about their video, because YouTube recommended that video to me, because YouTube knows that I talk about relocation. And what caught my attention is the flood of comments discouraging them from going to the US. So, as I've said, something very interesting when I was going through the comment section, most of these commentators have never, ever been to the US. And for those who are abroad, and still discouraging the move, if it's really that bad, why haven't they returned home themselves? So let's break this down and pull some key lessons from this situation for anyone who's thinking about relocating. So first, as I said, let's acknowledge one thing. People will also often give you advice based on their own fears or limited understanding. But I am so certain that Nicholas and his wife are in a unique position, and I'll explain why in a bit. So the potential benefits of them relocating far, far, far outweigh the risks, and here's why. And say this, I'm talking from a perspective of somebody who currently, I work in Mogadishu. So I shuttle between Mogadishu and Nairobi. I have visited more than 100 countries. I have worked in nearly all the continents in the world, right from Afghanistan all the way to Haiti in the Caribbean. So I know what I'm talking about. I've been to the US, I've been to the UK, I have family in those countries. So I know what I'm talking about. I am certain that the benefits the Kiokos are likely to get by far outweigh any of the risks anybody is talking about. So let's talk about one of the things that people mentioned about daycare is expensive. So yes, daycare can be quite expensive, not just in the US, only in the UK. My brother lives in the UK and he has 2 kids. One is about maybe 9 months now, and the other one is about maybe 7 years or 8 years, thereabout. And I can tell you, for a very long time, nearly half of their salary was going to daycare. And it was already subsidized because his wife is a professor in one of the universities in the UK. And they like subsidized, but they're still paying almost £3,000 a month for daycare. So it's not cheap. I'm not even disputing that. And I'm thinking in the US, it's almost 200, maybe like $25 an hour for daycare. So if you're talking about 8 hours, that's almost $200 a day for daycare. So it's not cheap. I'm not even disputing that. But I was just going through Nicholas's YouTube channel, and there's something called Social Blade. So when you go to Social Blade, it gives you an average of what a YouTuber is likely to earn. And just going by Social Blade and the number of average views this family gets on their YouTube channel, I am certain those guys make a minimum of 4,000 US dollars a month, minimum, just going by the number of views and the kind of content they create and the audience and all that. They make a minimum of 4,000 US dollars a month. That's almost 500,000 Kenya shillings from their YouTube channel alone. And if I'm not wrong, I think his wife also has her own YouTube channel. So I'm talking about one YouTube channel. They're making at least 4,000 US dollars just from Nicholas's YouTube channel alone. And I'm sure, I'm not certain, but I think his wife, if anybody knows about the wife, I think she also has her own YouTube channel, because I usually see her, a lot of her on the, actually, so on this particular video I'm talking about, I saw her on that video, and she was very comfortable. It was also obvious she is a content creator. You could just tell even the way she was talking. So once they move, so this is $4,000 from one YouTube channel living in Kenya. So once they move, they could actually grow that income. Why? Because they're going to have access to, number one, new audience and bigger opportunities. So a lot of their YouTube content, I was trying to go through it, a lot of their YouTube content is about, oh, this celebrity did that, that celebrity did that. So a lot of that, those videos were attracting mostly maybe Kenyans who are interested in Udaku, and maybe people in diaspora who want to know what's happening in Kenya. But just looking at the commentators on this YouTube video that they did about relocating, it was obvious there's a lot of people in the diaspora. So one thing that is likely to happen if they move, then there's obviously going to be people already who are in the diaspora who want to know how did it work out. All these people who are discouraging them will want to, go and say, I told you so, and all that kind of stuff. So relocating to the US opens up a whole new audience for their content. As content creators, they'll be able to continue engaging with their existing Kenyan viewers while also creating fresh content about life as new immigrants in the US. So imagine topics such as raising Kenyan kids in the US, oh, we were warned about this and we never listened, navigating life as a green card holder, first impressions of the US, first day, like the content is just enormous. The kind of content they can create, like, oh, this is our new, I can just imagine. And with kids, like, it's just, they're going to be spoiled for choice in terms of content. This could attract both the Kenyan diaspora and a broader global audience. So just from that viewpoint alone, they are likely to make more money just by expanding their audience. But even if they don't expand their audience, which is also a possibility, like maybe their Kenyan audience that was following them for the gossip might no longer be interested in them, which is fine. So they're most likely going to attract an audience who's already in the US. Now, what does that mean for them? Higher CPM. So for those who do not know, one big advantage of moving to the US or in the Western world as YouTubers is the higher CPM. And CPM stands for cost per 1,000 impressions. If you're not a YouTuber, you might not understand this. So this is basically how much advertisers pay per 1,000 views. So guys, how it happens, like for example, if you are watching this video, you usually see some annoying advertisements. That's how we pay for the internet. That's how we pay for my time here. It's a Sunday. Some of you are probably sleeping, but I'm up here. I get paid through the advertisement. So when you ever see an advertisement on my YouTube channel, please don't skip them. That's how I keep the lights on and buy bundles and keep creating content without having to charge you guys. So when we talk about CPM, cost per mil is how much advertisers pay per 1,000 views. We get paid per 1,000 views. So for every 1,000 views, we get paid some amount of money. So the US market has, and generally the Western countries, US, UK, Canada, Australia, Sweden, Norway, all those other countries, they have a significantly higher CPM than Kenya, sometimes even 10 times more. So for example, this video that you are currently watching, if you are watching me from Kenya, I'll probably be paid $5 US for every 1,000 views. If I have somebody in the US who is watching the same video, I'm going to be paid maybe 15 US dollars, same video, depending on whoever is watching me from, because of that CPM issue. So with the same number of views, Nicholas and his wife, or Nicholas Kioko's YouTube channel, could see a serious boost in their earnings. Just maintaining, even if they got just half of what they currently get in terms of views. So like for this particular video we are analyzing, it has more than 100,000 views. So if that audience, let's say, so that's 100,000 views, so that's like, if let's say the viewers were from Kenya, they probably get 400 US dollars. For the same video, if people watch that video, if let's say the 100,000 viewers were from the US, they'll get maybe, so 100 times 10 is how much? 100 times 10, what's 100 times 10? $1,000. So you see, same video, depending on the audience. Let's talk about US taxes. Not as bad as it sounds. So many people raise the concerns about high taxes in the US, and I agree, they are high. And yes, the taxes are significantly higher than in Kenya, I agree. But have you considered how much somebody in the US gets, how much return they get for their taxes? So for example, if you're in the US, education is free up to high school, free 100%, free. Number two, medical cover is free. Number three, if you don't have a job, there is an unemployment allowance. Like the government pays you money if you don't have a job. Number four, if you have small kids up to the age of 5, you get a monthly allowance just for giving birth up to the age of 5. So there are actually people in the US, their socio-economic activity is to give birth. So they always make sure there's somebody below the age of 5 in their family, because the government gives you some money for having a child below the age of 5. And that money is so much, it can literally take care of an entire family. So that's just a little bit of it, okay? And then you may have seen my videos when I'm in the US. You can see security-wise, it's so much safer. I'm not talking about gun shootings. We have them in Kenya as well. Last night, actually, and guys, I've told you I stay in a very upmarket area. There's a lady who was robbed right outside my gate, like at 8 p.m. So let's not even get started about security and gun shootings, yeah? They actually stabbed her. I think I would rather be shot than be stabbed. So security-wise, you have seen when I'm in the US, all the videos that I take, there is nowhere you will see tall gates, tall brick walls with barbed wire or electric fences. You have never seen, I have never seen anywhere in the US. I have never seen. So security-wise, we can say it's even so much safer there. So your taxes actually work for you. You dial 911 in the US, it takes no more than 3 seconds. There's going to be cops, there's going to be ambulance, there's going to be fire extinguishers right outside your gate. Okay? Basic things like, I don't know, you have a deadbeat hubby or baby daddy, and he decides he doesn't want to, I don't know, he deposited his seeds and now doesn't want to pay up for childcare. You just take them to the children's department and they attach his payslip, because the justice system is working. So yes, high taxes, yes, but you're getting return for your money. But here's the thing. Again, that if you're not a YouTuber, you will not, and I'm talking about YouTube because the couple we are talking about are YouTubers, yeah? So if you're not a YouTuber, you will not know this. So YouTubers, as YouTubers in Kenya, we are already taxed 30% by the US government on any revenue we earn from US-based viewers. So as much as we all always want to have those audiences from the US, for everybody that views my videos and they are based in the US, every income that I earn from that audience, US charges me 30% of tax. Guys, 30%, that's how much I get taxed. by the US government. And this tax, YouTube deducts it before even the money comes to me. So it is deducted at source 30%. So obviously, whatever money that the Kiokos are already earning from YouTube is already taxed 30%. So by moving to the US and filing taxes there, Nicholas and his wife could unlock deductions like business expenses, something we don't get to do here in Kenya. So whatever money I earn, so for example, I am creating content in my house right now, which means this is my office. I recently bought this microphone. I am using a new phone, thanks to one of my subscribers. But I have nowhere to go and claim any of those things. I pay my rent. But if I was in the US, I could file for all these things as a business expense. And that's exactly what Nicholas and his wife are going to do. Go and file for this as expenses. Any equipment they buy, if they buy a new phone, if they buy a new camera, they buy a new microphone, they like their house, if like for them, they're content creators, so they could literally pass their house as a business expense because it's their office. Even part of their living costs, which could help lower their taxable income. So they could actually, just by going to the US, reduce their taxable income because they're going to pass off some of these things, like their light, like me having my internet here. The only reason I have my internet here is that I can create content for you guys. That would be a business expense for them in the US. So guys, that's why I say, and I talked about this at the beginning of the year, watch out who you get your advice from. Majority of those people who want to advise you, they have no idea what they're talking about. So take just a classic example of this. Oh, that money, you think $400,000, 400,000 Kenya shillings is a lot of money in the US. It could actually be more. So just watch out who you get your advice from. And you have no business getting advice from somebody who has never been where you want to go. Okay, guys? And then there was the issue of starting from scratch. Not really. So another common concern for anybody who wants to relocate, not just for this particular couple, is usually the idea of starting from scratch. But let's be honest. This particular couple are not starting from scratch. They are not going to be starting from scratch. They are starting with an established YouTube channel, 535,000 followers. Guys, do you know how much that is? You know, that's the challenge sometimes when you see like you access us via your phone. So, and that's the other day, guys, remember I was talking, like some of you guys are so used to seeing me on your camera screens that you forget that I'm a human being with flesh and blood. So when you see like, and that's why for me right now, I can see there's 10 of you watching me. That's a lot of people. But when you're looking at them like as a number, they don't look like a lot, but that's a lot of people. If I had 10 people in my house right now, that's a crowd. Tamir, I'm talking about Nicholas Kioko. Yeah? So can you imagine 535,000 followers? That's a lot of people. So if you look at them just in terms of number, that's a lot, more than 500,000. Now, these are human beings with flesh and blood. They are starting with 535,000 people that believed in them enough to want to subscribe to their channel. And we haven't talked about the other majority who watch their videos and are not yet subscribed. And a steady income stream. So guys, do you see what I was talking about? People like to pass on their own insecurities to you. And if you are not grounded, you could take it as gospel truth. So like people are saying, oh, if you come to the US, Nicholas, you're going to be starting from scratch. Hello? YouTube is virtual. You can do YouTube from anywhere on this planet. It doesn't matter where you are. That's why you guys, when I'm in the US, you see me creating content. When I'm in Kenya, I'm creating content. When I'm in Mogadishu, I am creating content. And that's how versatile, when you make your money online, that's how versatile you become. And that's why I always encourage you guys, if you're able to, find ways you can make money online, because the challenge again people have is this narrow-mindedness. A lot of people are so used to making their money by exchanging their time with money physically that they cannot even open their minds and imagine that Nicholas doesn't need to be in Kenya to make money. He can still make money in the US. That's how narrow-mindedness is. And that's why, guys, I always encourage you, try and leave your comfort zone. Go even to the next county, go to the next town, go to the next city, go to the next country, even as you look to going to your dream destination. I know you want to go to Canada, you want to go to the US, but start by going to Namanga, go to Arusha, go to Kampala, go to Entebbe, go to Cape Town, go to, I don't know where you guys are watching me from. I saw somebody who is in, where was that somebody? Let me see where you guys are. That's why I want you guys to tell me, so I can know where to give examples. Somebody told me they're in Nakuru. Michael, have you ever been to Kisumu? I see there's somebody in Baraton. Have you ever been to Kitale? Yeah? And I can tell you for free, a lot of these people who are abroad and they were commenting about starting from scratch, these are people who came straight from their villages, went to the US Embassy, from the US Embassy, didn't even go back home, straight to JKI. I can bet my life that's what happened. They don't even know how Nairobi looks like. And that's why they think everybody who is going abroad is starting from scratch. No, honey, you don't have to start from scratch. Maybe this couple has already even bought infrastructure bonds in Kenya. And maybe they have a bond ladder that pays them an income every single month. So it doesn't matter where in the world they are. So guys, moving does not necessarily mean starting from scratch. Yeah? So like for this particular couple, they have 535,000 viewers strong. They have an income from one YouTube channel, at least 4,000 US dollars every month. How is that starting from scratch? And they'll not only maintain their current audience, but they could easily grow this audience, gain new followers from their experience in the US, get the higher CPMs. So guys, forget, and who said what's wrong about starting from scratch? I am personally starting from scratch, guys. I just resigned from my Mogadishu job, and come October, I am starting from scratch. Did anyone die? That's a question I always tell people. When you are in doubt, ask yourself, is anybody dying? Is anybody gonna die? Yeah? If Nicholas Kioko and his family moved to the US today, is anybody dying? No. So if no one is, because that's the worst case scenario that could happen. If no one is dying, go for it. I just resigned from my job. I woke up one night, 1 a.m., and I handed in my resignation. And beginning 30th of September, I am a free bird, and I'm excited for what this new chapter of my life is going to bring. At 45, I am starting from scratch. Did anyone die? No. I'm sure this couple are probably in their 20s, almost half my age. What's wrong if they start from scratch? So guys, quit those permanent C mentalities. We live in a world of abundance. And the only people who are going to be scared of starting from scratch are people with a scarcity mindset. The world has 193 countries. Why, oh, why do you want to die in one? And the only reason God gave you legs instead of roots is because you are not permanent. You are not a tree. If God wanted you to be permanent, to live, die in Kenya, He would have given you roots. But even trees with roots, we transplant them. Yeah? You transplant them. This is a tree that I got this from my previous job. They were moving to a new office and I bought it and now it's in my house. So even trees are moving. You're not a tree, come on guys, okay? Travel always changes you as a traveler. I keep talking about right here on the channel. That's why I keep telling you guys, get a passport. If you are following me and you don't have a passport, please go and get your passport and then come back. Relocating to a new country or even just visiting a new county, a new city will never, ever allow you to come back the same. You are going to experience new cultures, new ways of doing things. You're going to even find new business ideas. You're going to enjoy different foods. Like, it just opens up my mind. Unless you are mentally retarded, there is no way you are going to a new country, new city, meeting new people and coming back the same. There is no way. Take that to the bank. There is no way. And it's just like for this particular couple we are talking about, I'm talking about Nicholas Kioko. They won a green card and they're thinking of relocating. And a lot of people were like 99% of the comment section was like, do not relocate. It's hard and all that. So that's what we are talking about for those who are just joining in. So relocating to a new country isn't just about the financial gain that comes with it, though for us here, that's the motivation. We are very clear on this channel, patriotism doesn't pay the bills. So if a new country is gonna make you build that mansion, buy that apartment, by all means, go. And let no one guilt trip you. So the other day I had somebody was saying, oh, stay in your own countries. What are you coming to do in the UK? I'm like, what the colonizers came to do in Kenya. That's what I'm coming to do in your country. I'm just coming to get back what belongs to us, okay? So it's also about personal growth, yeah? As I've said, you're not gonna go to a new country and come back the same unless you're mentally retarded. Traveling, or in this case, moving abroad, always changes you. Always. Take that from someone who has been to more than 100 countries. I have lived in more than 20. I have worked in nearly all the continents. And as I said, you have no business taking advice from somebody who has never been where you have. It opens up your mind. It exposes you to new perspectives and helps you grow in ways you might never, ever have imagined. Yes, Tamir, patriotism doesn't pay the bills. So guys, you have heard my story. For a very long time, I always believed that Kenya was the superpower in Africa. Kenya has the best airports, because we were made to believe that was the truth until I left this freaking country. And for a very long time, the only narrative when I was growing up, I used to hear about Asian countries is that they're very dirty, they're overpopulated, there's nothing going on for them until I visited. Guys, if you're talking about skyscrapers, no country beats Malaysia, for example. I was in Malaysia less than a month ago. And you guys, if you have watched my videos, you must have seen the skyscrapers. I was literally staying in an apartment on the 51st floor of a building. 51st floor of a building. That's where my apartment was. And because of the village in me, and that's why I said, guys, you need to get out. Get out of your countries, go and see the world. 51st floor, that's where my apartment was. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. And I'm telling you, by the next day, I could not stay there. I was just like, no, you guys, I need a new apartment. Because every time I was in my apartment, so because of the technology for which it is built, so I was talking to one of the engineers, and I was concerned, like, not engineers, an architect. So what is your greatest concern when you are building this 53-story apartment? And he told me, from an architect's point of view, from an engineer's point of view, when you have such a tall building in a country like Malaysia, your greatest concern, and I was telling him in Kenya, we have 4-floor buildings collapsing day and night. Like, the engineers are so shoddy that they can't even do 4 floors. They're literally falling apart in Kenya. I don't know who teaches these engineers in Kenya. Like, they can't even do 4 floors. We have bungalows collapsing in Kenya. We have buildings like the Petronius Towers have been there from back in the day, the tallest buildings in the world. And they're standing tall. And I was like, what is wrong with our African people? Like, our engineers can't even make a 4-floor building stand. They can't even make a road Like the road is on the ground and it is cracking. How are you people able to make a building 53 floors to stand? And then he told me, see, for us, the stability, those are non-brainers. Making the floor on top of the other is an non-brainer. What is a concern for us is the wind. Because when the wind is blowing, remember that thing is up there. So for us, our concern is that when the wind is blowing, you know, the buildings actually move. I didn't even know that. So actually the building moves. So he told me that his concern as an architect is such that when the building sways to one side because of the wind blowing it, you know, the wind blows like this, that when it moves to this side, when it comes back to this other side, it moves back so slowly to the extent that the effect of its movement is not felt by the occupants. And then I asked myself, you are an engineer, you are an architect in Kenya. You have never left Kenya. How are you even doing your architecture? How are you doing your engineering? And it explained to me why our engineers and by the way, guys, if you're an engineer, don't even come for me in the comments section. My dad is an engineer, and my dad is 74 years old. So I know he did proper engineering, leave alone this one you guys are doing here in UON, where you are relying on, I don't know, CAD, I don't know, they call them CAD and computer software, so you do shoddy work. My dad is those engineers, like if you tell him to do for you a building, he doesn't run to an app somewhere. He literally sits with those, you know, those big papers which have like blue on them. He sits down and draws. So he's a proper engineer. I'm not talking about those ones. I'm talking about these millennials and Gen Z engineers who are done for exams. You know, the ones I'm talking about, those ones. And then they've never left the country. Drama pro max. So I was thinking, if me, I'm not even an engineer. Okay, though I'm a little influenced because of my dad. So I always love architecture when I travel. I want to understand the history behind them. So I'm always asking questions. And if I can meet the engineer who has done a building that puzzles me, I always try to meet them. So I'm a little curious like that. So I was just thinking, if I had never gone to Malaysia, for example, and it wasn't my first time, I lived in Myanmar, and a return ticket to Malaysia would cost us like $20 or $30 thereabouts. So I used to frequent Kuala Lumpur a lot. So when I returned about 2 months ago, and I was just thinking, what if I had never gotten a chance to live in Asia? I would still be having that mindset that the only thing Asians do is get dirty. There are a lot of them, overpopulation and stuff like that. But if you are looking for, if you're an engineer or you have a child who is interested in engineering, architecture, and you have never visited Asia, you are not an engineer. I'm not convinced. In fact, I can't even give you work. If I had engineering work, you've never visited Asia, clearly you ujaiva. And I say that without any apologies. You have never visited, and I don't care where you are trained. If you are an engineer, go to Asia. If you need proper experience, it will change your world. So I know I've digressed there, but it's fine. So I've said it opens your mind, exposes it. Oh, so let me finish the story. So I was wondering, like, why do I keep having this, you know? And then I realized, yes, it's real. Yes, but yes, Tamil, it's overpopulated. Actually, let me tell you a story. When my late mom was alive, we used to go to India for her treatment. So my first day, when I went to Delhi, we used to go to Delhi, New Delhi. So the first time I went to New Delhi was in 2009. That's 15 years ago. And then we got off I think we took, was it a train? I don't remember. But the only thing I remember, when we got off, I think it was from the aircraft or from the train, I don't quite remember. And then when the doors were just open, I think it was the train, and the doors were just open like this. Guys, culture shock is, I have never seen that many people in one place. Like, I had a panic attack. I am not even playing, guys. I'm not even exaggerating. I had a proper panic attack. But think of it on the flip side. Yes. And guys, I had never seen, I know, for example, we have chokoras in my country. Chokoras are street boys, but our street children, when you pass near them, they actually take showers, by the way. So I live next to the CBD, so I get a chance to actually rub shoulders. A lot of the street families, they actually shower. I was shocked in India. There are families that actually live in the rubbish. They call them rubbish pits. Like, that's their home. Like, they're literally scavenging for food there. That is something that does not happen in Kenya, for example. But with their overpopulation and all that, they gave my mom a lease of life for 13 extra years. My mom was a case that was written off. She had actually suffered 3 heart attacks while in Kenya that no cardiologist had diagnosed. Her treatment was so expensive in Kenya that if we didn't have money to take her to India, like whatever we used to be billed in one hospital visit was always enough for the 3 of us to go to India. My mom, we always used to go, the 3 of us, my mom, my dad, and myself would go to India, stay for a whole 2 weeks, 3 weeks. My mom gets treatment like the first 1 week, the second week, and then would be on holiday for the other week, and then coming back, and and then would come back with medication for a whole year. Would do our own full body checkups, would like visit and tour. And that is what would be charged for one visit in Kenya. So in spite of all those things about India, it still gave her a lease of life. She lived on for an extra 13 years until from when she was diagnosed in 2009 until when she died in 2022. We actually went to India in September 2019. My mom died in September 2022. So like, they literally gave her a lease of life. And when the only thing I knew about India, and the only way I actually got to know about India, because when my mom was diagnosed in Kenya, I was living in Afghanistan at the time. And Afghanistan is a neighboring country to India. And a lot of the Afghanis, my colleagues, because I was working for Aga Khan Foundation, so a lot of my colleagues were like, they had money. So they used to go to India for treatment. So when I told them that my mom is sick and I need to go to Kenya to take care of her, they said, no, why don't you bring her to India? And it costed me just $300 for my return trip, I remember, from Kabul to India. So it wasn't, if I wasn't working in Afghanistan, I wouldn't have known about the good healthcare in India and this particular hospital, because she was going to Max Hospital. It's the best cardiology hospital in the world. And it is dirt cheap. So guys, you see how exposure helps. If like my mother, maybe she would have just died then, but God allowed me to be in this space at that time. So travel relocation will help you grow in ways you might never have imagined. Let's just talk about Somalia, for example. Somalia has always been on my bucket list for the longest time, but I didn't know how to get there. And I didn't want to go to Somaliland. I wanted to go to Somalia, the real Somalia. But I wasn't able to, because you can't get a visa to go for tourism in Somalia. But because I was able to go there I was working there. So I got a chance to visit Somalia, something that I would never had. And I met amazing people. So I used to see Somalia on the map, and literally the whole country is on a coastline. But it never really occurred to me what that means in reality. Guys, I have never seen such blue waters for extended periods. And I read in geography that Somalia has the longest coastline in the world. But to experience that on a flight, like you're flying over water for like miles and miles and miles and miles, and you actually get your geography into perspective. Like, you literally experience geography. Like, no teacher can explain to you the length of Somalia's coastline. and the blue waters, guys, and the fish, the freshness, and all that. Because the only thing the media shows you about Somalia is the Taliban, is not Taliban, they're called what? The Al-Shabaab. But there's more to that. I have met amazing people. And I know right now, if I want to go back to Somalia, I have my tribe there. I have my people that can welcome me. I have people that can help me get a visa. Yeah, but it's because I took that leap of faith. Yeah. So guys, travel. I know Nicholas and his family will experience a new way of life. Their kids are going to get exposure to the world beyond Kenya. They're going to experience a different culture. They're going to get the elusive American accent. I know they're going to enjoy it. But worst case scenario, let's say it doesn't work out for them. They can always come back. You can always come back. It's not like they're going to burn down their house and then go to the US. No, guys, you can always come back. It's not a life sentence. Relocation is not a life sentence. Guys, I have been in Mogadishu for 1 year. And I'm like, it's now enough. And I resigned. Yeah. And no one put a gun to my head that you must work in Mogadishu. No, guys, you can always come back. Yeah. And that is something a lot of people always overlook. Relocating to the US, to Canada, Somalia, Australia, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal is not a permanent decision. So if for any reason Nicholas and his family don't find the US to be a good fit, they can always come back to Kenya. Yeah? It's not like they're burning bridges. It's not like they've been, and like Kenya has dual citizenship. They can actually go to the US, make sure they do the 6 months to make sure they don't lose their green card. When time is up, get a US passport and come back to Kenya, raise their kids. And when they think it's appropriate, or if their kids decide to one day go back to the US, they can always go back. So in fact, if they return to Kenya, they'll bring back valuable experiences and perhaps even a bigger YouTube channel. And they could even decide to come back into bigger, better businesses. They can even decide to be doing 6 months in the US, make the money, come back to Kenya, spend the money. I know a lot of people that do that. Something else, again, this is especially for you guys who follow social media influencers, celebrities. Not everything on social media is what it seems. Like I always tell you guys, what you see on social media is what we want you to see. We only expose bits of our lives as social media people that we want you to see. And you only get to see like 0.0001% of our lives. Unfortunately, some of you want to assume that what you see on your screens is our entire lives. Now, something I also want to point out in that relation is that I didn't watch the all of that video by Nicholas Kioko, but I heard about, is it called Bob Mwiti, I think, the airlift program. There is an airlift program in Kenya. And I heard something about that mentioned in the video. So could this have been an advertisement? Could it have been content creation? Yeah? Haven't you guys seen me sometimes when I'm in the US and say, oh, here is a tour of my house in the US. And some of you come to the comment section, oh, Eva, when did you relocate? No, when I'm in the US and I'm in that house, I'm paying for it. It's my house. Okay? They are content creators after all. What is a content creator? It's job to create content. And it's their job to monetize their content. As content creators, it is our job to monetize our content in every way possible. And especially in cases like those where that's 100% of what they do. And I told you guys that's why personally I have chosen to have a 9-to-5 job so that I do not fall into the temptation in the name of content where I have to lie to you guys, use clickbait and stuff like that, which is very easy when YouTube or content creation is your sole source of income. So before catching feelings, and I'm talking to those people who are in the content, in the comment section of this couple's YouTube channel, before you start catching feelings or getting all emotional about what you see on your mobile phone or on your TV screen, remember, not everything you see on social media is what it seems. Okay, guys? Now, another issue that was raised was racism. Now, let's address the comment about racism in the US. Yes, racism exists, it is real. There are people who actually think that just because I am Black is enough reason to unlife me. And it doesn't even start from the US alone. You don't even have to get there. Let's even talk right from the embassy. If an American wants to come to Kenya, they simply go onto their phone and fill what is called an ETA. Automatically, the system approves it. There's nothing they have to do. The system automatically approves them. Same thing to somebody from the UK, somebody from Australia, from wherever. They simply, and before route of government, they would literally just walk into JKI with $51, boom, boom, stamp, come in. And that's why you will see a lot of these Muzungus come to Kenya to be tourists. And before you know it, they are here permanently and you wonder what happened. And they are called expatriates. You go to their country, even if you're going there to work for Google, you're going to work for Amazon, you are an immigrant. Racism is real, guys. But let's not pretend that we don't have our own challenges back here in Africa. In Kenya, if you follow travel content creators right here on YouTube, you must have seen how even Kenyans get treated just backdoor here in Tanzania. It is almost, it's an extreme sport to drive your Kenyan car on Tanzanian soil. An extreme sport. Here, next door to here, and we are all in Eastern Africa. Try landing in Rwanda as a Kenyan. Even though they say, oh, Rwanda is open for East African citizens, you will be asked 1,050,000 questions in Rwanda. While in Kenya here, we have Rwandese, we have Burundians, we have Congolese selling sugarcane on the streets. Right here in Kenya. My own Shamba boy is from Burundi. Try coming as a Kenyan to go and cross that border. I told you when I was flying to Argentina in 2020, just around COVID time, I was catching my flight through South Africa, Johannesburg, and I was flying business class. You will not believe the immigration officers made me miss my flight because they cannot understand how a young-looking Black African girl can afford business class to go to Argentina just because she has money without being attached to an old Muzungu by her side. How dare you afford business class to Argentina when I am stuck here in Johannesburg airport and have never been able to get on a flight? How dare you? That is Africa for you, baby. And I cannot even begin to tell you the drama I have gone through right here in Africa. And that's why, guys, you will notice I have very little content about my travel in Africa, because I have purposely to put Africa. I only travel within Africa if I'm going for work, or if my son has an event in one of the African countries. I am going to visit all parts of the world, because I was like, I would rather be segregated based on how I look by somebody who doesn't look like me than to be judged harshly by somebody who looks like me. So I'm going to keep Africa in the back burner until I am done with all the other parts of the world. I'm going to keep giving the other parts of the world my money. When I'm done with them, then I'll come back and explore the African continent. So I hardly have any content about Africa, because I never have anything positive to say. From the cost of the hotels, like, Africans think that if you're traveling, like, you should be punished for traveling. Look at the flights. Right now, my son has an event in Cape Town, and I was just looking at the flights. A return flight from Nairobi to South Africa is less than 6 hours. And the cheapest flight I have found is $943 US. Kenya Airways, you guys who talk about patriotism, the cheapest flight I have found is $1,230 US to Cape Town, less than 6 hours away. That is almost 170,000 Kenya shillings. I have a flight to Malaysia for 37,000 Kenya shillings. Return, guys, on Air Asia, which is, I don't know, is it 13 hours flight to Malaysia? 37,500 return to Malaysia. And I've done that video. There's a video here on the chat. You guys saw when I was booking that flight. 37,500 return to Malaysia. If I want to go to my village is in Homa Bay County. It is 45 minutes flight from Wilson Airport. 9,000 Kenya shillings if I book a month in advance, one way. 9,000 Kenya shillings. One way. If I want to go right here, Zanzibar, across the border, it costs me 25,000 return, guys. And you're talking about racism. Come on. Now, I don't know about other countries, but Kenya, today, somebody was telling me a story. There's a lady I know, I will not say her first name, but her mom is Kikuyu, her dad is Kalenjin. So, her name is, let's say, Eva Njeri, what is that Kalenjin boy's name? Kipkorir. Eva Njeri Kipkorir. So she went to apply for a passport at Nyayo House. And when she was doing her biometrics, the visa officer saw her name. Eva Njeri Kipkorir. So Njeri is a Kikuyu name, Kipkorir is a Kalenjin name. And the guy was like, oh, wow, you have such a lucky name. And she, of course, knew what the guy was talking about. She just pretended she didn't understand. He's like, what do you mean? Then now he was pointing at both her names. And if there's anybody who's in Kenya, you know what I'm talking about. You guys will not believe. He told her, if you don't have accommodation, I can offer you accommodation. But hata utahitaji, you just sit there and wait. And guys will not believe, in 2 hours, she had her passport back. That's because of her name. Whatever I do with that information is up to you. Discrimination exists everywhere. Everywhere. Starting from your own family. Me, I have family members I don't talk to. We don't talk. Because some members of my family decided they want to be bitter. And I'm like, shall not be my portion. And while it's important to acknowledge and address it, the fear of encountering discrimination or racism or tribalism or all these isms should never be a reason for you to avoid moving to a place with greater opportunities. In spite of the treatment that I got in South Africa, I have been back 7 times, and I am going back in about 2 months' time. Because for me, I have decided, you want to discriminate because of how I look, and I didn't choose, be my guest. And these days, I have learned a proper coping mechanism. It doesn't even bother me. I sit there like I'm not even bothered, and it annoys them even some more. And I've learned the worst anybody can ever do to you in their country is to deport you, because you are not an illegal. So that's the worst they can do to you, deport you. When you'll die. And you guys, that's the advantage of being a content creator, because you get access to a lot of information. So there are people in my inbox who have been deported. They always come, when they are going, they don't consult me. They don't even watch my videos because they say it is too long. Oh, nini. So the agents go and lie to them. They land at the airport, they are thrown back. So when they are deported, then they remember, oh, there used to be somebody called Eva Mtali. Let me slide to her DM. So I have a lot of those cases in my DMs, from YouTube to TikTok to Facebook to now that some of you have access to my phone number. They claim they want a CV or they want a LinkedIn profile, so they get my phone numbers or my assistant's phone numbers for the M-Pesa. And then now they think they have access to me the way they want. So I have all those in my DMs. But I am yet to find any of them who died because they were deported. I have never seen anybody who died of a deportation. Even there's a lady, I forget her name. There's one who was deported from America. It's been maybe 2 years now, 3 years. She was deported because she came from the hospital. Not those hospital gowns that don't have a back, like it was a bare back. She was deported. She froze. Like her case was so bad because she actually fell sick on the plane because, they didn't dress her warm. And I think she was deported in winter. That by the time she was landing at the airport, they had hired a Red Cross ambulance. But she didn't die. I'm here to find somebody who died because of deportation. So don't let the fear of being discriminated be a reason for you to avoid moving to a place with greater opportunities. Now let's talk about work pressure and family breakups. So a big fear I also saw in the comment section is that families break up in the US due to work, due to pressure and the stress of not seeing each other frequently. And yes, in the US and any other part of the Western world, life can be fast-paced. I don't refute that. But let's look at this from a different angle. And let's go back to this couple here, Nicholas and his wife. They are both YouTubers, and they already work together by virtue of both being YouTubers. And I was just glancing through some of their videos. I have seen a lot of videos that they shoot together. They can decide they want to continue creating content as a family. That's an option. So unlike many 9-to-5 jobs, digital content creation offers flexibility, and it allows you to have work-life balance that a 9-to-5 might not give you. And you're going to have much more family time than the average 9-to-5 worker has. And just by virtue of the fact that they have an opportunity to get higher CPMs for the same amount of views they were getting in Kenya, they can actually now decide to shoot less videos. Yeah? Because even if they get, I don't know, one video gets 100,000 views, and the CPM is 10, they don't have to, they can choose to create 10 times less videos because they're getting the same amount of money. So, but let's even put that aside. Let's assume, yes, they go there and their family actually breaks. Family breakups are not unique to the US. I am sure everybody watching me right now knows at least one family that broke up this year or last year or is about to break up. So breakups are not unique to the US. If you are bound to break up, you will break up even if you're in heaven. That's why God decided that there's no marriage in heaven. If you always wondered why there's no wedding, there's no marriages in heaven, it is for that reason. Because if you are meant to break up, you will break up. Hata mukwe mbinguni. That is why God does not want marriages in heaven. Because heaven is supposed to be a happy place. So he does not want any reason for unhappiness. Because if you are meant to break up, it is not about location. You will break up. If you are meant to be together, it's not about location. You will be together. That's why we have happy people who are poor. We have happy people who are rich. We have sad people who are poor. We have sad people who are rich. So it is not about location, Mama. It is not about location. Let nobody lie to you. Stress, pressure, family challenges happen everywhere in the world, including Kenya. The key is communication, balance, and keeping the family bond strong no matter where you find yourself. Relocating to the US doesn't automatically mean that your family is going to break up or break apart. But even if it does, my friend, it is better to be single and happy than married and miserable. Nimemaliza. So what can we learn from Nicholas Kioko's stories? What are the key takeaways? Because remember, for me, I always share stories here, not for any other reason but for learning purposes. So here are my key takeaways for anyone who's thinking about relocating or making a life-changing decision like the one I just made. Guys, I told you I just resigned from my job and I feel awesome. Takeaway number one, don't let other people's fears dictate your life. Everyone has their own perspective, but don't let other people's fears become your reality. You know your goals, you know your dreams better than anyone else. You know yourself, you know your circumstance better than anybody else. Do not let other people drive your life. Number two, opportunity is everywhere if you look. Problems too are everywhere if you look. You have seen right here on the channel. For every solution I provide, there are people who are always in the comment section looking for problems. Relocating to a new country will offer endless opportunities. If you're a content creator, new audiences, more income. If you have kids, for example, you go to the US, education is free until high school, public education, and new perspectives. You have to be willing to take that step, okay? Takeaway number three, new audiences will bring new revenue. I have talked about that. For content creators, moving to a new country can mean attracting new followers and tapping into higher paying markets. Nicholas and his wife are poised to scale their brand in the US. And just the fact that they already have a large audience, for me, I even see a business opportunity there. I have seen there's a lady she's a Kenyan content creator. She calls herself Hope. Is it called Hope something? I think she's called herself, I can't remember, she's Hope something something. She also relocated to the US with her family on green card. And when she got to the US, she saw a business opportunity because one of the issues she struggled with was finding a host family. So when she went to the US, she started a business for hosting green card winners who do not have host families. And remember, this lady was starting from scratch. She didn't have a YouTube channel before she left Kenya. She went to the US and started her own YouTube channel. Yes, Joanne, she's called Shiko Hope TV, yes. She went and started her own YouTube channel while in the US. And I can say she's thriving because she recently opened another second host home. And she even opened a physical office in Kenya. Sembuse, somebody who has 500,000 followers. You people, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Opportunity is right here on your nose. But because you're so narrow-minded, you're so fixated, the only way you can make money is a traditional 9-to-5 job where you go to an office. Everybody is now passing their own fears and judgment on this family. Takeaway number 4, you can always come back. Relocating isn't permanent. If it doesn't work out, you can always come back. And don't ever let people's judgment on you force you to stay in a place that is not working for you. So many people I have met in the US, in the UK, Canada, during my travels, they are so miserable. And when I always tell them, so why don't you come back? They are scared people will laugh. And then, wakisha cheka, see, they will sleep at night. They will laugh and then what? Guys, shame is the lowest form of vibration. Lowest. And is what has led a lot of people to depression, has led a lot of heartaches, has caused misery to a lot of people, this thing called shame. And I will tell you for free, I am now 45. These are things you learn as you grow older. Those people that you think that are going to laugh at you, they don't even care about you. They don't even, like, they are so miserable. Like, if you ever find somebody who can laugh at somebody who is already down, that is somebody who is miserable. For example, you will never find someone like Elon Musk laughing at somebody who decided to come back to Kenya because things were not working out for them. Or somebody like Warren Buffett or Mark Zuckerberg. You know, these millionaires, people who've made it. You will never find somebody who has made it in life laughing at somebody who didn't make it. You will never find. It's the miserable brokies who are laughing at people. Do you care? Somebody broke laughing at you. Do you care? They themselves are struggling with their own life. Go even and look at social media. Those people who always troll celebrities. I have never seen a beautiful or a handsome man, a beautiful woman or a handsome man commenting that someone is ugly. It's always the ugly ones who are projecting their own insecurities. I have never ever seen. Even body shamers, I have never seen. So, if they want to laugh, let them laugh. And if there's anybody in the diaspora, if you're watching me and it's not working for you, come back. We will laugh for 2 days and shut up because we'll remember, oh my God, I have to pay rent. I have affordable housing to pay. I have to pay tax. We will remember our problems will stop us from laughing. The key is not to let fear hold you back from trying something new. If you don't try, you'll never know. Takeaway number 5, racism exists, but so does tribalism and nepotism and xenophobia and classicism and all these isms. Yes, it exists. Let's not forget about the isms in our own countries. No country is perfect, but the opportunities outside of your own country far outweigh the challenges, the risks, and the isms. See what wanaishi huko. Even Obama was a president. He's black, he's Luo. And And he was a president for 2 terms in this so-called racism country. Did he die? Did he die? Yes. Life in the US can be busy, can be tough, can be expensive, can be all those things. So what? Go and be tough also. Go and make those monies. And I will tell you, especially those of you who have always wanted to even work online, let me tell you, do you know there are some websites that cannot allow you to register on them just because you're in Kenya or you're in Africa? But the fact that you'll be in America, you will now be able to register for those websites. Are you guys aware? I'll give you an example. I create content on a website called medium.com. I use it mostly for my LinkedIn account. It's tied to my LinkedIn account, medium.com. It's a free website for you to create content on. But if you are Kenyan or if you're in Africa, you create content, they don't pay you. If you're in the US, Canada, Australia, these Western countries, European countries, you create content on that same website, you get paid. Me, I'm here creating content on that website, nobody pays me. Same thing with TikTok. Do you know I have a huge following on TikTok? I have more than 150,000 followers on TikTok. Travel with Eva Mtalii TikTok account, 150,000 organic. And I've gone live not more than 5 times. I've been on TikTok for less than a year now, but I have 150,000 followers. I do a video there, it hits 100,000 views, 1 million views, 2 million. I even have a video that has 3 million views on TikTok. But I've earned 0 from it. 0. That's because I am in Kenya. If I was in the US, I would not even be on YouTube, by the way. Let me tell you, my friend. Because this same content, I go and do at 1 hour on TikTok, I'll be a millionaire because I'll get paid. They pay for creating content on TikTok. You don't even have to say, oh, tap, give me a lion, oh, give me a rose. Me, I just talk and post my content. TikTok pays me if I'm in America. Something as basic as TikTok shops. Do you know there's something called, if you're in Kenya, you won't know. Do you know like anytime I'm in the US and I go to TikTok, I see TikTok, I can actually shop on TikTok. Do you know there are TikTok shops? You know the way we have Facebook, I don't know what, we have TikTok shops. But if you're in Kenya, you cannot see those shops. You cannot even own a shop on TikTok. But if you're in the US, I personally create content for TikTok shops. If you follow me on TikTok, you may have seen I recently did a paid ad for they're called what? A company in the US that they do power banks. They sell very nice power banks, and I did a paid advertisement for them. If I was in the US, I would be having my own shop on TikTok. Another one, Etsy.com. So for a very long time, I used to talk about Etsy. So if you don't know, I have another YouTube channel, Eva Mtalii Finance, where I share online opportunities. For a very long time, I used to beg Kenyans, come to Etsy.com, come and make money, sell. So I sell African. So Etsy is a website where people who like handmade products and people who sell handmade products, it's a platform. It's like an Amazon, but for handmade products. So I used to sell, I actually still sell like this Maasai. Let me show you like one of the things I sell. I don't know what you call them, something like this. This is a table mat, it's handmade. You can see it outside is leather, and then it has Maasai beads. I don't know if you guys can see. It's a table mat. So these are the kind of stuff that I sell like this. I sell Maasai sandals like this one. You see, like this one. Things like this. All this is 100% handmade. Everything here is handmade. You can see? So I sell stuff like this on that platform. And I ship them to the US. So for example, something like this, I buy in Kenya for maybe $3 or $4. When I get on Etsy, minimum this thing goes for is $100 US. $100 US, this thing. And I buy it for like $5. This one. It's a table mat. It's about 15 centimeters. The diameter is about 15 centimeters. And people are sitting there saying there are no jobs. What am I trying to say? Now, so for a very long, so I registered on Etsy maybe 10 years ago. So I've been on Etsy that long. So I started talking about it on my finance channel. And then Kenyans, I don't know who bewitched us Kenyans, like anything we touch, we ruin it. So I don't know, I think they started conning people, because what happens with Etsy, like if let's say I advertise this thing that I'm selling it, the person who wants to buy it will pay me money upfront. And then I ship it. So for me, I ship via DHL. So it takes like 2 to 3 days. Your item is in America. And so something else that you guys might not know. So there's something called AGOA agreement. AGOA. So this is an agreement between different countries in the world and the US. Kenya is part of the AGOA countries. So anything that is made in Kenya, if you export it to the US, it is duty-free. Did you guys know that? Anything, as long as it is made in Kenya, you ship it to the US, somebody buys it, it is duty-free. Now, let me tell you the opposite. Anything made in outside Kenya, you ship it to Kenya, you pay duty. I'll give you an example. So as a YouTuber, we are usually invited to different events by YouTube. So recently, there's a hashtag that they've been trying to push. So I participated in that hashtag. And usually they give us different gifts. You guys have seen me share some of the gifts I get from YouTube. So recently they told me, oh, we're going to send you some merchandise because you've been participating on this challenge, yada, yada. So we'll send it to you. So apparently, which I've never understood why, the merchandise is being shipped from Nigeria via DHL. So recently I received a call from DHL. Oh, we have your items here at the warehouse and you need to pay duty. So I asked them how much. And they told me 4,900 Kenya shillings. So I was curious. 4,900. So I asked them, what items are those? Guys, you will not believe. I will do the unboxing here maybe next week. It's a diary and a t-shirt, YouTube branded. I'm paying 4,900 for them. And people are talking about racism. 4,900 for a diary and a t-shirt. While when my client buys this item, I also sell Kiondo baskets. I ship them to the US. Actually, that's the only market I ship to because of the AGOA agreement. If they pay $100 for it, there's nothing else on the other end. DHL will go and deposit it to their doorstep. No questions asked, no duty, no nothing. But as when something comes from that side, duty kibao, and we still have debts. Now tell me, who is conning who here? In the name of, we want to support local manufacturers. Which ones? How many of you right now, if I even told you I am selling these things, you will buy it from me? You'd rather go and buy those Chinese ones. This is it can work as a table mat. It can work as a decoration. How many of you will buy this thing from me? Zero. How many? Zero. So you see, I make them, buy them, send it to the US, and my US dollars. Who is losing? So guys, I think I have talked long enough, but the message is home. I will quickly read your comments and then call it a day. So we have Michael. Thank you so much. Michael was the first one here on the channel. Hi, Evans. Donland, Uganda, said, praise the Lord and thanks for the great work. Oh, praise the Lord. Anna Marioki, good morning to you. Crispin, very well. Tamir, that's crazy. Do they pay for reviewing their content? You must be asking about the taxes paid. Is that what you're asking about, Tamir? I was talking about the US. We usually get taxed, guys, 30%. Any view that comes from America, if I earn money on that one, US government takes 30% of it. I'm talking about Nicholas, Kioko, Krista, my Eva, my favorite. Good morning. Oh, wow. Thank you. Good morning. Tamir is saying, I was thinking of starting YouTube series. Tamir, please start. What country are you in? Please start YouTube. Let me tell you guys. In fact, I should one day do a video here about the benefits of being a YouTuber. Apart from the money, even before you get monetized, there are so many benefits of being a YouTuber. You guys cannot even, there's so many benefits. So, Tamir, please start. I don't know what country you're watching me from, but I wanted to know the country that I can advise you on some of the content you can talk about. Johnny, hey, long time, how are you? Johnny is also a content creator, by the way, but Johnny, these days I don't see your videos. Do you still create content? Let me see the last time you posted. Guys, if you're interested in content about Germany, I don't know if it's still, let me check. Johnny's World is a YouTuber. He used to create content about, let me see if he still creates. Johnny's World. Let me see if he used to create content about Germany. Esh. Johnny, how come I don't see you? I'm seeing some Muzungu here. Hey, wait. Johnny, able post you. If you're still here, please put your nini. Because I'm seeing some Muzungu here. Was your account hacked or what? Ama, you changed your name? Because I'm seeing a Mzungu here. Oh, you changed your name, Johnny Damiano. Oh, okay. Guys, his YouTube channel is Johnny_Damiano, at Johnny_Damiano. He used to create content about Germany. I can see he hasn't created in a while. 6 months. Ebu Rudy content creation, Johnny. Yes, Tamir. The overpopulated thing is, yes, I was talking about overpopulation in Asia. Yes, culture shock is real. One child policy, yes. Asians wako vizuri kwenye healthcare, true. To think there's people polluting those waters, I know, yeah? There's racism everywhere, Krista, even in Africa. Tamir says you can't compare the racism in Africa compared to US. Sipendi watu washamba wenye fake mentalities kama hizo, true. People need to mentally prepare for the mental shock of real racism abroad, yes. Guys, if you are going abroad for new opportunities, please research. Mana racism can put you in bad situation. Yes, very true. She's called Shiko TV. Yes, Joanne. Oh, you're in Hungary. Oh, nice. Tamir, able start a YouTube channel. Are you a student there? Are you working? We should probably do a collab one day. What are you doing there? Are you working or you're a student? Have I been to Hungary? Let me see if I've been to Hungary. I think I have. Let me check my vlog if I've talked something about Hungary. I think I've been to Hungary if I'm not wrong. Let me see. And I think I went by road from, let me see. Hungary. Remember, how did I go to Hungary? Hungary. Trying to remember. Tamir, remind me, what's the capital? Oh, you're a student. What's the capital city of Hungary? So I can remember if I've been to Hungary. What's your capital city? Oh, you're a student. I think I have come from Budapest. Yes, I was certain. Yes. Let me see if I have my content on Budapest. I think I have been to Budapest. Let me just see. Budapest. I've never done a video about it. Let me see. I think I've been to Budapest. If I'm not, okay, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'll check my Instagram. Oh, Tamir, please do a video. Are you in undergrad or postgraduate, or are you on scholarship? Like, there's so many things you can talk about. Really, start answer too, and also in terms of just showcasing. So there's different angles you can take, especially as a student. You can talk about student life. Like, there's so many things you can talk about as a YouTuber. Please start. I'll be your first subscriber. Let me know when you start. I want to be your first subscriber. Anywho, guys, I hope I have answered all your questions, and I hope you have learned from this. See. Oh, I'm doing a certification training for education. Oh, wow. Tamir, let's talk. Ebu, you email me, ivamtali@gmail.com. I think you'd make a good guest, because it looks like it's a short-term course you're doing, and people always ask me about short-term. If you don't mind, I could host you on the channel. Maybe you could share something about what you're doing, and it could, I don't know, somebody could benefit from it. People are always looking for short-term courses. If you don't mind, that is something you're open to do, please send me a message, ivamtali@gmail.com. I'm sure there are people who could benefit. Guys, if you're still watching, let me know, is that something you'd be interested in? Just hearing Tamir's story and, you know, how she got there, what opportunities exist. Let me know in the comment section if that's something you'd be interested in. Benon is saying, the event organizers of the event I paid for her delayed to send me invitation letter now a week. The event starting on 17th to 20th November. I'm so afraid if my visa application will have been processed. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I came here to do the course, hoping to find a job work. Oh, how long have you been there for? Anyway, let me know if you're open to like me hosting you on the channel. You can send me an email on ivamtali@gmail.com, and the rest of you guys, if that's a story you'd like to hear, also let me know in the comment section below. Yeah, if you'd like for me to host a Hungarian, a student in Hungary. Are you, Tamir, are you from Kenya or from Tanzania? I can't remember. You had told me once. I don't remember. Are you Kenyan or... In fact, if you know what I would do, because Hungary is one of the Schengen countries. Since you still have your visa, have you considered going to check for work in Lithuania? Ebu vuka Lithuania, iwende ujaribu kama unaweza pata job huko. Try and go to Lithuania because you have the visa, and Lithuania is hiring people, and they process the work visa for you, especially if you're already in the country. In fact, I wish you went during the summer. It could have really worked for you during the summer holiday, because a lot of locals don't like to work during the summer. So there's a lot of opportunities during the summer. But anyway, guys, if you want me to host Tamir, please comment there. Kama mtaki pia ni sawa. I'll chat her personally because we always like to hear. I like udaku ya relocation. I like listening to relocation stories. So if you guys don't want me to host her, that's fine. We will chat in the inbox. Okay, guys, have a beautiful Sunday. Have a beautiful month. And thank you for tuning in. Please share the video and happy relocation. See you on the next one.